Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm CodyPunko5, and the internet is back, the snow is almost gone, and the dev server is up for 1.87. So first off, for America, we get the anticipated M1A1 Abrams. Now, the M1A1 Abrams is essentially a IPM-1 model Abrams. However, it features the Rheinmetall L44. Well, not exactly the L44, but a heavily modified version of the L44's gun, which if I'm not mistaken, is called the M256. So, just like the L44, the M256 has stock heat with, I believe it's 650 millimeters of penetration. And the M829, which is now the best shell in the game with 493 millimeters of pen. And then it also has, I believe, 30 degrees of 427 and a 60 degree of 284. Let's see here. What is that compared to the M774? So 206, 309, 427, 284. So a lot better. Definitely a lot better. Nothing new. Helicopters, aviation. Alright, yeah, so, the F2 Sabre and the F9F8 Cougar and the FG4B, both variants, have been moved to Tier 6, which kind of spreads out the tree a little bit more. F100 still 9.7, F2 9.0, F9 F8 9, 8.3, and the FJ4Bs are still. Oh, that's cool. The F9Fs are now in a bracket. That is actually very good. Anything else here? Doesn't really look like it. And in fleet, we get the what is it? The Somers DD381. Which is, oh, it said 9.7 for a second, I was like, what? Anyway, so the Somers DD381 is... It's a pretty decently large vessel. It's not the biggest of vessels. It has, what is that? 120, it has four 127 millimeter guns. I'm assuming those are these big boyos up here. Yeah. And then it's got two automatic guns on turrets, which are... Yeah, I don't know, but it's got the two Mark 1 automatics, which are 1 and 1.1 inches, and it has 12.7 millimeter machine guns, which are probably these things right here. That's about it for America. And then for Germany, we don't get anything new for tanks, which is fine. We don't get anything new for helicopters, but we do get a lot of new things for the aviation tree. So let's just start out with the premium here, of course, being the Seahawk Mark 100. So the Seahawk Mark 100 is very similar to the British one that's going to be coming to the tree in 1.87 along with the Seahawk Mark 100. It has the same top speed, maybe a little bit slower acceleration due to the raised tailplane. It has 4 Mark 5 Hispanos, a turn time of 27 seconds, and can go 919 kilometers per hour. This thing right here, I believe, can carry... Okay, so they're not AIM-9s like I originally thought they were going to be. Oh, wait, no, it's Mark... So they are AIM-9Bs, they're just called Mark 101s. Got it. It also, besides Mark 101s, can carry a large variety of different air-to-ground weaponry, including RP-3s, 1,000-pound bombs, 500-pounders, etc., and AP Mark 2s. I don't think I've seen those before. Okay, so on to the Tier 6 things. Germany finally gets some higher battle rating jets that fit along with America's F-100D and the USSR's MiG-19 PT. Of course, these are the MiG-19S, which is a slightly better performing MiG-19 PT without the missiles, and the CL-13B, which I did not expect to see. I don't think there was a dev blog for this, at least there wasn't before the dev server, I'm pretty sure. Hope I'm not wrong there. I don't want to be an idiot. But still, it's just an improved CL-13A, right? CL-13A Mark V. The difference being this one's appears to be faster. Is the turn time different? No, turn time's about the same. Same climb rate. So yeah, it's just a faster CL-13A. Does it get missiles? It does get missiles, so it gets the AIM-9Bs. I do want to check something here. So this is still spaded, so this doesn't get any missiles. This, the F9, F8 gets missiles. The FJ4Bs both get missiles as well. Okay. The MiG-19S does not get missiles because it is the non-PT variant, so it doesn't take missiles on that version. Gotta test fly it real quick. It performs very, very similarly, but it is slightly better. Also, if you look at performance of probably a spaded PT, it is most likely going to be worse. So, unlike visually, there's a few different differences from the PT. For instance, I believe on the PT it does not have this little metal piece right here, but the main thing I noticed was the air intake. Of course, on the PT, the air intake is more like sort of a shock cone sort of thing, where it's got kind of empty all around here, and then a single piece in the center. But on the MiG-19S here, of course it's got the more MiG-17 like just vertical straight piece, except on the MiG-17 it is slightly curved inwards, but on this it's just one flat bit. So just like the MiG-19 PT, this is a very high acceleration aircraft. It is a speedy boy, and it still has a very, very fantastic climb rate. I believe, like, yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And I was able to get up to, I think, Mach 1 around 5K in a flat, but let's see what we can do around here. So yeah, it accelerates pretty quickly. Yeah, it's like 0.01 every second or so, maybe a little faster. Yeah, still a very quick aircraft, good acceleration, and of course the dual 30mm. Oh right, yeah, no, not dual 30mm, I actually completely forgot about this. It has, instead of a dual 30mm, it has tri 30mm. 2 on the wing roots, and then 1 more right under the air intake on the right side. Okay, let's take a quick... oh, rip. Let's take a quick look at the CL-13B Mark VI. Yeah, it's really cool with 1.87. It seems like a lot of slightly lower battle rating aircraft are getting the AIM-9s and... well, so far it really seems like the only missiles lower BR aircraft are getting is the AIM-9Bs. But the F-100 is also getting AIM-9Es, which instead of, I believe, 4Gs, or like 6Gs on the AIM-9Bs, the AIM-9Es can pull up to 10Gs, which will mean they'll be a lot easier to hit. Especially on aircraft that don't want to maneuver too much. They might, like if you're using normal AIM-9Bs, a quick maneuver, just sort of like even like that, could very easily throw them off. But on things like the AIM-9Es, you're going to have to pull 10 Gs or more to be able to evade them, which is going to be certainly a lot more difficult. Yeah, the CL-13B here it's not really too insanely different, just a little bit better. Yeah, it'll be a nice addition to high-tier Germany. It's going to end well. Okay. No new helicopters. Fleet. Nuremberg, yeah. So this is a battle rating of 5.7. It has some really big weaponry, and a lot of it. So it has 150. It has 350 millimeters on turrets. It's got 4 turreted 88 millimeters, 2 40 millimeter anti-aircraft Bofors. Oh geez, a lot of anti-aircraft. 4 37s, 7 20 millimeters, 6 more 20 millimeters of a different type, 2 more 20 millimeters, and 6 torpedoes on... I'd imagine those would be turreted, right? Maybe not. Maybe on blind, maybe... Oh, that's kind of cool. This is mounted on top of a turret. But yeah, I don't see the... Oh, there they are. They're kind of hidden down there. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay. On to things more interesting than fleet. So, for the USSR, there's 2 pretty major additions to the ground tech tree, which are the T-80U, which is a T-80 with Contact 5 armor, and just overall pretty darn improved. So, let's first take a look at the T-80B for a comparison here. So let's grab, I don't know, an American M1 Abrams with M774. So with M774, you can kind of pen around there, it's kind of in the general area here, and then along the turret breach there. And if you shoot down here, of course, you can blow up the carousel ammo rack. But on the T-80U, it is a lot better protected due to the Contact 5 around here, which is effective against both kinetic and chemical rounds. I have a full kind of overview on this tank based on the devlog. Yeah, I believe the carousel ammo racks on this were at least supposed to be... Yeah, they're a little bit, get the X-ray up in here. It was supposed to be at least, like... Yeah, I think some of the ammo is stored a bit differently. So it's going to be a bit harder to hit. Okay, so the other thing, which I think is a bit more crazy, is a totally new, crazy radar-guided anti-air. So, I believe the deal with this is it's got 4 30 millimeters, which are going to be a lot better than the ZSU-23's anti-aircraft guns, because I believe these are higher velocity and they're going to be harder hitting because they're 30 millimeters, of course. And then the other pretty crazy thing on this is the fact that it has anti-air guided missiles. So if I'm not mistaken with these, when you track your target, which it kind of guides you along with a little bit, it's kind of like an ATGM but against air, so it's not going to be like a guided missile like an AIM-9 or like, what are they, the R7s? I don't know, play DCS a little bit, so I don't remember the missiles of the older type. Yeah, these are not going to be like anti-air missiles. These like anti-air guided missiles, you just guide them with your mouse. So, yeah. It's still going to be really good, though. I've seen a couple in some custom battles, and they are quite capable. Nothing new for that. And they don't get anything new for air. And yeah, so the Leningrad, let's see here. Very red. So this is a very long ship. So it's got 5 turreted 130 millimeters, 2 76 millimeters also on turret, 2 more 76 millimeters on turrets, 6 137, well 130, 6 37s, that's better, 6 12.7s, and 8 torpedoes, which are these boyos right here. So it is definitely going to be a very capable anti-aircraft ship with all that small arms fire on it. So yeah, this is going to be a cool thing for higher tier boats. And then we're going to also have the Kirov right here, which is another battle rating 5.7. And this thing has some pretty darn terrifying armament. So it has 3 turreted 180 millimeters, 6 turreted 100 millimeters, This little Russian biplane here. 7 turreted 45s and 3 turreted 12.7s. That is, again, a very large amount of armament. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very good boat by the looks of it. Okay, moving on to Britain. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they don't really get anything new with aviation. I wonder if the Hunter gets missiles. It does not. I'm assuming the fire streaks are still Shiza. It doesn't tell me. No, here it is. Yeah, 5Gs. Yeah, still not very good. Anyway, so... Oh, right, yeah, the Seahawk. So the Seahawk here, it's very similar. I believe this one is maybe slightly faster. And I think it doesn't carry missiles, if I'm not mistaken. No, it does not. Okay. So that's pretty much the same one as the Seahawk Mark 100. Okay, so Britain's main thing here is the Challenger 2. So this is going to be their first 10.0 tank, and of course it very well might be changed because this is just the dev server. Yeah, it currently sits at 10.0, but it very well could be moved up slightly. So if I'm not mistaken, this thing has very, very similar mobility to the prior Challengers, which of course is not very good. But the main thing about it is it does get very much improved armor. So let's, for comparison, let's take a look at Challenger Mark III right here. Protection analysis, let's grab a T-80B. Yeah, that's good. And it is, yeah, the best, wait, is that the best shell? Yeah, that's the best shell. Did that get lowered? Could have sworn that was 475. Anyway, so in this thing, of course, you can pen pretty much anywhere on the front of the tank. It really doesn't matter as long as you're careful not to hit the turret. And like yeah, it's not. I've seen some of these things go down hills, and you can pretty much kill them with anything in that case. But yeah, worst case scenario, when you hit these things, you take out their breach. But then, if we look at the Challenger 2 here, not the Mark II, the 2, it has incredibly better armor. I mean, let's even just grab a T-80U to face against this thing. I think that's good. That's a good shell. So you can't touch the turret, of course, and the frontal armor here is significantly better. I'm pretty sure the only real weak point right here is like right here. You of course can bounce the shot or like kind of weird, yeah, bounce it off there sometimes, but yeah, a lot better armor than the Challenger Mark III and the Mark II. Of course, it still does have the weak point down here where there's absolutely no composite on the lower plate, which takes up like half of the front. Show armor parts. Well, actually, no, it does get a little bit down here, but it certainly is a lot thinner than the composite above. At least it has something, right? That's good. Okay, I think they get a boat here. So the HMS Leander, I'll just say Leander because it sounds fun. So it gets 4 6 inches, which are, yeah, probably these boys up here. Gets 4 inches, 5 20mm Oerlikons, which are probably these things right here. Probably. And then it gets 3 12.7s, which are these little things right here. And then 8 533mm torpedoes, which are these things right here. What else do we have? So Japan. So Japan got, I don't think the Type 90 was really changed at all, right? No, still the same tank. So if we head over to the Type 70... Oh, wait, no. So the Type 90 was brought up from rank 6 up to rank 7, which is pretty dang cool, because it is a very capable vehicle with that gun it has on it. But then we also get the Type 74G, which is a modernized version of the Type 74 for currently sitting at 8.7. I believe this thing served until the 90s, I want to say, but it was in service a lot earlier, so it's not like some crazy 90s tank. Anyway, so it's still got the same, not that great armor. Turret's okay, but not against something that you're going to face at 9.0. But, of course, the best part about it is the gun. So the gun... Wow, this is better than the Abrams gun. It gets M735 and Type 93. So, is M735 the same thing that America gets? I believe it is. Not the M1A1. Modifications I went through. Yeah, M735, which has 360 millimeters of pen. Still a very capable round. It definitely seems like it's going to be a very good tank, but of course it's a premium, so you're not going to even have to use the stock shell. So you're most likely going to be using probably heat with 400 millimeters, or even more likely the APFSDS with 405 millimeters of pen. And then they do get some new aircraft. So I'm going to start out with the F-86 F-40, which is a copy and paste of the F-40 that is currently in tree. But this one right here, it gets a brand spanking new Epic Gamer camo, and it also gets to carry missiles. But does the... I don't think this one can... Oh, it does. It can carry missiles now. Yay. Okay, so yeah, both the F-40s can now carry missiles. But yeah, this is a premium version with some more interesting camo, so... Well, more interesting might be a stretch. And then the pride of the Japanese Air Force, the T-2, at least in game, pride of the Japanese Air Force. Yeah, I think this was a trainer aircraft that served, it's either until the 90s or the early 2000s, but this is going to be the fastest aircraft in-game and also the best looking. I mean, look at that thing, it's so sleek. If it took off the wings, it would be a rocket. Jeez. Kind of reminds me of F4 Phantom with how the tail kind of swoops up like that with the engines right below it. But yeah, it's certainly a very good looking aircraft and incredibly capable with a max speed of 1675. That's insane. I believe it can, yeah, it's Mach, I believe, 1.6 at around 10,975 meters. But realistically, you're not going to be that high, so you're probably going to be able to reach maybe Mach 1.1 in a flat. That's what I'd probably assume. But yeah, that's a very awesome aircraft. I cannot wait till I get that thing. It looks beautiful. Okay, on to Italy. Might as well start with aviation, because I don't believe they got anything for... No, yeah, they did, the Ariete. But the G91YS is, well, it's a much more awesome G91. I mean, look at the, darn it. Come on, War Thunder. Look at the old G91 here. So this one's got the 4 12.7s, which with a max speed of 1066. And then we have the all-new G91YS, which has the 230 millimeters with, what is that? 250 rounds. I believe that's, I don't know if that's total or both of, I don't know if that's total or per gun, but, oh, that's something I just noticed. This thing has 2 engines. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it has an improved top speed of 1114 kilometers per hour and is 200k to research and is still presumably a pretty good turner, yeah. Okay, time to look at the Ariete. Here we go. So the Ariete is a 9.7 in the Italian tech tree at tier 6. They don't have a tier 7 yet. Yeah, it is a tier 6 9.7 tank, and it does look very similar to the Challenger 2, with the almost an identical looking turret design. Yeah, that looks very, very similar indeed. But yeah, this thing right here, it has a 120mm auto Brita, and 2 7.62mm, 1 coax, and 1 top-mounted. And this thing really doesn't have that much armor. Of course, it has some composite armor, but it's honestly not going to do much. I mean, let's take a, I don't know, maybe an MBT-70? Wrong. XM1, that's good. With the... yeah, APFSDS. So this thing is going to pen with no problem right through pretty much anywhere on the entire tank, so it is certainly not a very well armored vehicle, but at least it has a decent top speed. But what I'm most interested in here is the shells. It has DM-23 and DM-33 with 481 millimeters of penetration. That's pretty dang good. That makes me interested. What is the penetration of the 2A4? Yeah, no. So, yeah, so this has DM-13 and DM-23, but the Ariete has, yeah, DM-23 and DM-33. Okay. Man, with all these new tanks, it seems like the Leopard 2A4 might need DM-33. Yeah, that's a decent tank. Not very well armored, but maybe shells will just pass right through it and play it like a, I don't know, maybe an Abrams, but with no armor. Okay, so France. I don't know. Doesn't look like they got any new tanks. Alright, the helicopters. So we have the H-34 here, which is, I believe it's originally a Russian helicopter, but this thing has been everywhere, so yeah. So it mounts a bunch of H-VARs, I believe. Those aren't messed up at all. Yeah, H-VARs. What is that? 6 of them? Yeah, 6 H-VARs and 2 AGM-22 missiles, which I heard that they were the same ones on like the SS. No, those are. Where's the SS-11? Yeah, no, SS-11s, and those are AGM-22s. So never mind about that, but kind of reminds me of this thing right here, which is, it's okay. Yeah, they look pretty darn similar. But let's see here. And they also get the Alouette 2, which this looks pretty much identical to the German helicopter that we saw. And then the Alouette 3, which is a lot more refined, but it is still a utility helicopter, so it's going to be kind of placed into a role that's not quite suited for, but still seems like it could do decently well, especially with forward-guided missiles. Looks like stock, so yeah. Then the Gazelle. So the Gazelle looks like it's a little bit of a thinner aircraft. It's got a autocannon mounted on the right and rocket pods. The Mighty Mouse, that's awesome. So we can carry 2 hot missiles, or what's the difference in these? 900 millimeters versus 800 millimeters, so they're still going to be very good. And then, alright, Mistral air-to-air, so yeah, I hit escape way too many times. And then the final Gazelle at 9.7, which, just more stock Mighty Mouses, more hot missiles mounted at the same time, I believe. Carry Mistrals at the same time. Yeah. And then there's the IAR 316B, which is the premium aircraft here. Those are small ATGMs. Yeah, it can carry 6 ATGMs and a bunch of rocket pods at the same time. Okay. Let's move on to aviation here. So, they do get a new jet. I'll start with the MD-460. Probably going to spend a little bit more time on the Ventor because I can test drive it. So the MD-460, it really does look like a tinier Super Sabre with that little vacuum air intake. Yeah, it has one engine and a max speed of 1183, so a little bit faster than the G91YS. And can carry AIM-9Bs, and what are those? What the heck are those? Nord AA-20. Air-to-air missiles. They don't have the max G listed on there. Where's the AIM-9Bs in here? Yeah, max G of 6. I don't know how those work. So they're a little bit more explosive. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know about those. But then we also have, of course, the Premium Vantor, which is, I believe it's pretty much, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one with 30 mils. So this one, it's pretty much it's a premium version of this right here, except it can carry, I don't believe, yeah, it can carry air-to-air missiles, which this one right here cannot. So, yeah, it also gets, yeah, it takes, a Israel camouflage. I believe this is the aircraft that served in the Six-Day War on the Israeli side. Not very much armor, probably pretty much the same. Is that... I don't see the purpose of that armor there. It can carry the Chaffriers. So I'm going to test fly this thing right here, so I can test out those Chaffriers. Okay. So what is that, a MiG-15? I did not take the Chaffriers. So it can take 4 Chaffriers, and I'll check the stats in 1 second. Now I just kind of want to see how well they track. You okay? Okay, level, fix yourself. Yeah, there we go. Gotta remember my control binds for missiles, because I've only used them on premium vehicles. I haven't unlocked them on the F-100 yet. Take off. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna gain up a little bit of speed, then I'm gonna pull around real quick and hit that MiG-15. I believe in game this thing gets an air spawn, so you don't have to take off on the airfield like I did there. See, I don't know about this thing because it can't take bombs with the missiles, so it seems like it's not going to be the best aircraft to buy, just because you can't really fulfill the bomber role of this thing, where it can take out 2 bases, then you can go kind of a fighter role. But I don't know. It'll definitely, it's better than some premiums like the what is it called, the Seahawk Mark 100. Come on. Don't want to work. There we go. So let's see how those go. Okay, I didn't really expect it to hit that angle anyway. Let's see about right here. I'd be depressed if it couldn't hit like that. There we go, perfect. So, yeah, it's got the Chaffriers, and it, of course, still has the 30 millimeters, which are on the normal version. I want to take a look at the Chaffrier like the performance of the Chaffriers real quick. Where are they? 6 Gs, explosive mass 4.5. So it looks like they might just be slightly better than the AIM-9Bs. So 800 meters per second. Assuming, yeah, AIM-9Bs. Where's the AIM-9Bs? Versus... Yeah, so they're pretty much identical. Yeah. Yeah, so slightly less explosive mass and slightly less heavy. So, yeah. Yeah, let's take a look at the AIM-9Es real quick. So, here we go. So the F-100 can, of course, take 4 of them, 10G maximum overload, everything else, they seem pretty much the same. Are those slightly lighter? No, they're slightly heavier. Yeah, that's pretty much it for 1.87 on the dev server. A lot of these BRs could, of course, be changed in the live servers, so don't take these BRs as like permanent things. For all we know, the M1A1 could be 11.0 or 10.7 or 17.7. I don't know, but well, not 17.7, but yeah. So I'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, comment. It all helps me out, and I'll see you next.